Bullying in sport. Bullying is not just a phenomenon of the classroom. It occurs in every area of school and daily life. One of these areas in particular is on the sports pitch. Bullying on the sports field is not confined to the players, but parents, coaches and even supporters. Such is the problem of bullying in sport that a group known as the Child Protection in Sport Unit has been set up to develop intervention strategies. If your child is involved in a sports club or school team, you would be right to check whether or not there is an anti-bullying policy in place. Furthermore, you should check to see if there is a proper complaints policy in place for grievances to be aired. There has been some research in the area of attitude. Where exactly should we draw the line between natural sporting aggression and bullying? Sports such as football are renowned for their use of gallows humour and banter to strengthen team spirit between team members. When does reinforcing team spirit become bullying? In professional sports, and especially football, there are some very bad examples set by players in interacting with others. Is bad behaviour in the Premier League a cause for antisocial behaviour towards others amongst our young? A study carried out a few years ago found that nearly half of young people involved in sport were unhappy in their view of their coaches or teachers. The study found that there was a fair level of resentment and concern about the level of pressure being placed on their young shoulders. A typical complaint was that there was frequent intimidation and pressure being applied to youngsters. Some of the people involved in the study complained of regular racist abuse being used as a weapon of choice. Let's get this straight. We're not talking about professional athletes paid huge amounts of money, but school kids going to clubs and school teams. Are we really that cruel to our kids, and what sort of example are we setting to them for the way they conduct themselves in the real world? Sport is not for the faint-hearted, and if you have a bad game or need improving, it is fair to be criticised openly and honestly. The way this criticism is delivered can be the difference between constructive criticism or plain emotional cruelty. Teachers might want to think how they are delivering that criticism. Pushy parents are becoming a growing problem, and they can unwittingly produce behaviours which constitute bullying. Sunday League football has become a bear pit at some games, with parents abusing their own and even other parents' kids. Team managers need to look for the parent blowing things out of proportion. Outright abuse, screaming and showing excessive disappointment when things are going wrong should not be tolerated. Parents need to think about the example they are setting to their child and families. The worst fear that youngsters have is that they will not be believed. The problem can be made a lot worse if there are not effective measures in place to stop bullying behaviour in its tracks. Parents can be the last ones to find out their child is being bullied because the child does not want to make a fuss. If the problem is a coach or teacher, then children can be too scared of living with the consequences of their actions, and they may worry about becoming unpopular with other teammates. That is why it is so important to think about having a written complaints policy which is regularly revised and updated and covers not only youngsters but also adults. It should explain exactly what will happen when someone makes a complaint of any sort, who will run the investigation, and what the investigation will involve. For a free presentation on preventing bullying, building confidence, self-esteem and staying out of danger, visit www.kidsconfidencetraining.com.